Hey guys, Blazen here, and today, in this video, I'll be covering patch 8 of Space Marine 2. Not much like last time, I am in a public test server, and once again, this is only available on PC. The official patch comes out for everyone on June 26th. I'll leave the patch notes in the description, and with that said, let's start with the cosmetics. Starting off with the helmets, and there's quite a few of them. One is a Blood Angel, the other is a White Scar, and then thankfully there is one of the Blood Angel helmets without the actual blood icon, and as you can see there's one unlockable helmet, and that unlockable is related to Siege mode. Moving on to the left shoulder, and what I found is there's two new shoulder pads. One, they added the studded shoulder pad that was on the right side for like the prestige rewards or whatever. So now it can be used on the left side. And as you can see, they added a new White Scar shoulder pad. And both of these are available on all classes. Out of curiosity, I checked out the right shoulder pad to see if there was anything new, and turns out there is. There is a new Blood Angel shoulder pad, and there's also another new shoulder pad related to Siege mode. Moving on to the chest pieces, and yeah, there's a couple new chests. There's a Blood Angel chest and a new White Scars chest. And that's pretty much it when it comes to armor pieces. None of them are exclusive, they can all be used on all classes. Now let's move on and check out the new Successor chapters. So here we are. I'm first going to go over through the Blood Angel Successor chapters, and then I'll show you the White Scar Successor chapters. And I'm pretty much going to shut up and let you enjoy the colors and new icons. One last thing to mention before we move on, they added an Ultramarine Sergeant icon on the left shoulder. I guess this was missing, but it's here now. Now, moving on to weapon cosmetics. And it seems like what they did was add the colors red, white, and blue on literally every single weapon, including melee weapons. And these are all related to Siege mode unlocks. So I'll just show you a few examples. The final few weapon cosmetics I found were White Scar specific cosmetics. So there's White Scar skins for the Stalker Bolt Rifle, Oculus Bolt Carbine, and the Combat Knife, which is very unique. And finally, the last cosmetic piece, which I almost forgot to mention, is the brand new White Scar champion for the Assault. Again, I will shut up and let you take it all in. That's pretty much all the cosmetics. We're now moving on into gameplay changes, specifically the prestige perks. Again, if you want to see specific changes, because obviously perks have been adjusted and whatnot, the link to the blog post will be down in the description. So starting off with the Assault got a new prestige perk, replacing an old one called Unyielding Oath. When charging a ground pound, you become invulnerable for 3 seconds. Isn't that really only useful for one perk? Moving on to Bulwark. Now, Bulwark received the sort of biggest gameplay change compared to, well, basically the other classes. The Bulwark now has access to the Thunder Hammer, so Assault isn't the only one. However, obviously, when you select the Thunder Hammer, you no longer have the Storm Shield. So this is, I guess, a new sort of playstyle to experiment for Bulwark players. So this is really cool. Let's see how this plays out. And as far as Bulwark's new replace prestige perk, he got Embodied Stand. When the chapter banner is active, all squad members do not lose control upon taking heavy hits and cannot be knocked back within its zone. So this is definitely much more useful than whatever the last one was. Moving on to Sniper, his new prestige perk is called Material Upgrade. Equipment damage radius increases by 15%. I don't think many will be using this. And finally the Heavy. His new prestige perk is called Hold Precision. Equipped weapons maximum spread decreases by 25% when firing without aiming. I feel like this prestige perk should have been like a fire rate increase when firing from the hip, because you know, when you play as a heavy and you're firing from the hip, your fire rate is decreased tremendously until you actually, you know, ADS or heavy stance. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Would that be too OP or what? And finally, the last couple things to mention are a couple new features. One is that in the private mode settings, when you select private mode turned on, there's now an option to turn off the bots. So all of you true solo players out there can now actually play true solo without a mod. And of course, since I haven't really used that kind of mod, maybe I might try true solo myself. So this took a while, but it's finally here as an official feature. And now console players will be able to challenge themselves as well. And of course, the newest and biggest feature about this update is the new siege mode, which as of right now, as you can see here, there's normal and hard difficulty. I have yet to play this, but stay tuned on the channel. I will showcase some gameplay with my style of music in the background as always. And that's pretty much it for the patch 8 update. I'm pretty sure I've covered everything. Again, if I missed anything, the blog post is down in the description. And that's pretty much it for this video. So if you enjoyed, please hit the like button. Share the video around to, have people aware that Space Marine 2 is getting a new update. And gather your friends so we can all have fun. And of course, stay tuned, subscribe to this channel for more Space Marine 2 content. And comment down below, what do you guys think of the patch 8 update? And until next time, peace.